Hey, cousin. How's it going? Another week, another opportunity to heal. I know. Okay, I ain't gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that because I know sometimes healing and all of this work can be a lot. So today, I am going to be giving you all some spiritual guidance, which y'all know, those of you who know me from my YouTube channel, that's what I used to do. I am known for giving spiritual guidance. But when I went away for 3 years, I started working on myself. And when I came back, I was guided to start to teach. So that's what I have been doing, teaching and helping you all on your journey, your spiritual growth journey. But when I got dressed today, I had heard something. And Spirit had checked me a little bit because all of you who know me from reading tarot, y'all know that that's how I used to read. That's how I used to get my messages, is from tarot cards. But I stopped reading tarot and I stopped delivering messages altogether. And Spirit had got on me today about that. Just a little bit, just a little bit. Not really like, I didn't really get beat down too bad, but the truth was told. And I know everything happens in divine time. And so the time that I'm teaching and the way that I was doing things, that's the way I was supposed to do it. But now I have been guided to deliver messages. Thank you for the love. The way that I used to, and not necessarily with tarot cards, but delivering messages because I don't need the cards, okay? No shade and nothing out there to all the tarot readers, okay? If you're reading with cards, keep reading with cards because that's a level. I told you all that. That is a level. And that is the way that many of us start our spiritual journey, is from listening to or reading tarot. But when you go down the path, you learn and you grow and you get closer and closer to Spirit, which is our creator, then you don't need all of the tools, all of the sage, all the Palo Santo, all the crystals, you don't need all that anymore. And trust me, I had it all, altars, everything. But when I came back, I was just teaching, okay? So just teaching you all about spiritual wellness practices, because a lot of people don't know about the spiritual wellness practices. It's a lifestyle, okay? Most people will pick up a deck of cards, pick up some crystals, go in the store and start buying things, but they don't understand that this is a lifestyle. And when you start buying those things, then you're actually opening yourself up. You are now becoming a portal, okay? So there's a way that you have to live. There's a lifestyle to go with that. You cannot burn sage and drink liquor. It's not a good idea. You cannot burn your Palo Santo and, you know what I'm saying, you have your crystals all around, but you still having the sex with all these random people and doing all this stuff. You're going to have some issues, okay? Just letting you know. So when I came back, thank you for the love, I started teaching people about spiritual wellness practices because it is a lifestyle. So even if you still are at the point of having sage, crystals, all the things, tarot cards, if you're still at that stage, it's fine. It's not a bad thing. But just know that there's also a shift that you're going to have to make at some point. If you don't make the shift, what will happen if you don't make the shift? I ain't gonna say too much, okay? Y'all know in the past, can't say too much. But I will say you will start to have some problems, all right? You will start to have some problems because the goal of spirituality is not to look spiritual, to act spiritual and do spiritual things. It's for you to grow, because that's what we came here to do. So those of us that choose this alternative path, then we are on this path of spiritual growth and evolution of our soul. Okay, we came here to do something. Our soul is awakening us to the truth. We're starting to realize that this world is not what it seems. Mama wasn't telling me the whole truth. Daddy didn't know the whole truth. The pastors, the ministers, the teachings, the Bible, whatever it is that you were raised on, you're starting to look at life differently and say, hold on, wait a minute. Something is different. I don't know what it is, but this is not it. So many of us chose the spiritual path, which is what helped a lot of us years ago, I'll say around 2018, 2020, a lot of us went through a spiritual awakening, whether it was with the false twin flame situation or, a breakup from someone you were with for a long period of time, or whatever it is that you went through at that time. You went through a very, very tough situation. But when you got online, there were some ladies and a few men that had some tarot cards. And when you got online, baby, they were reading down your life. They were telling you every single thing that you were going through, what you needed to do, and everything. As I'm telling you, this is what happened to me. This is how I started reading tarot, because I went through my spiritual awakening at the same time. So when I got online, I was looking for real estate videos. I was into real estate at that time. But I saw a video that said Capricorn. Dot, 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 dot. Y'all know how the videos go, okay? So the heading of the video was just like, oh, what's she talking about? Okay, let me see what she's talking about. So I clicked on the video. And when I clicked on the video, this woman, black woman, just like me, not, when you normally think about tarot readers, stuff like that, you normally be like thinking about an old white woman. She looked like she, kind of wrinkled up, and you like, I don't know, that ain't the case. There were so many black women that were reading tarot at that time that helped us to navigate through that transition. And I was watching the videos. I did not know that I was learning how to read while I was watching. So one day, after watching tarot for probably maybe a year or so, then I was guided to get a deck of my own. So I got a deck, and then I was guided to just write one word on the back of the card to say what each card meant. So I didn't know what they meant. I did what I was guided to do, and that's what I did. So I started reading for myself. I started reading for people in my family. I started, really just testing it out, seeing what was going on. Didn't have a clue what I was doing, but I was not scared. See, many people who come from a religious background like me, they're scared of things like tarot cards, runes, stones, bones, all these type of things, shells. I was not scared. I felt very comfortable reading tarot. When I was reading tarot, I did not feel scared, especially because there were other readers, that were reading like me. So I was like, okay, I can do this. So I started reading people. And when I was reading people in my family and reading myself and everybody, and they were like, yes, what you're saying is true. Everything is true. Everything is true. And the more I started reading people, the more confident I became in what I was saying. I was like, okay, this is good, because I am helping people through their situation. So people are going through a lot of different things in life. And I know that people look at tarot readers and things like that, like some spooky thing, and it's bad. But when you understand the spiritual path, then you understand there are levels. There are levels. We don't all come in connected to our Creator, the Most High. Not like that. There are levels, there are things that we must go through, and many of us who started off on the spiritual path, reading crystals, stones, bones, all these things, we are not afraid of going through that initiation, and that's just what it is. So I started reading tarot. My channel took off. I did not know anything about YouTube, nothing like that. I just was watching readers like I told you. And one day I was just guided to just start reading. So I started reading the different elements, the signs. So I would do water signs, I would do fire signs, I would do earth signs, I would do air signs. So I started reading all the signs. And I was working full time. I was not a full-time tarot reader when I first started. I just was working and doing tarot on the side. So, and look at me telling y'all my story, how I got started. But that's how it happened. I was going through a really tough situation, and other women were going through the same thing. And I really know for sure that I was helping a lot of women go through breakups and healing from different things that they had been through in their life. And it was healing for me too. So I just kept reading. And it wasn't really doing much at first. It was just, a couple of views here and there. But really, I was just learning how to read. I didn't get on YouTube to make money or to do anything with it. I was just learning. So Once I started reading and people started watching, then it became real. So one day I was at practice with my daughter. I think I told y'all this story before. I was at practice with my daughter, and one of my air sign videos had took off and did like 1,000 views. And I was like, oh my goodness, like 1,000 views, like this is big. Because normally I was just getting like 20 views, 30 views. You know, I wasn't getting many views, but I was learning how to read the cards. So I had a video that did 1,000 views, and from that point forward, I just kept reading. I never stopped. So I started reading all the signs: Capricorn, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo one day, and then the next day I would come back and do the Leos, the Aries, and the dang, it's been so long. Leos, Aries, Sagittarius, which are the fire signs. The water signs, I would do Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpios the next day. And then normally towards the end of the week, I would do water signs because for some reason, water sign videos always was just kind of like, But then I do the air signs. Air signs love can, period. Shout out to the air signs. That's the Aquarius, the Geminis, and the Libra, excuse me. The Leos, not the Leos, the Libras and the Aquarius and the Geminis love Cousin Ken and the Capricorns. So those videos did extremely well, and I used to get a lot of views, and it just took off. So before I knew it, I was just giving messages, and that's what everybody knew me for doing, just reading, okay? That's what they knew me for doing. So I would say it took me maybe a year to hit 100,000 subscribers. And I had over 12 million views on that channel because we all know with tarot, people don't be wanting to subscribe. No, they don't want to subscribe, but they want to watch. You know, they come looking for you every day, but they don't want to subscribe to you. You say I follow you on YouTube? Yes, cousin. Some of my cousins, y'all remember me from back in the day. And I know I look different, but I'm still the same person. Well, not really, but you know. I still do what I do. I'm still a spiritual guide. You said that's how I started, but now I don't feel as connected to doing it anymore. I'm transitioning. Yes. So you're at that phase that I'm talking about. Because there comes a point on the journey where it no longer is connected to who you are. And if you would have told me that I was not going to read tarot, I would have never believed you. Never. Because I was so connected to reading cards. That was just, thank you. I was so connected to it. And I was so connected to my people, my community, my cousins. So it was like, this is what I do. Everywhere I went, people knew that's just what I do, you know. But it was something inside of me, like you said, you just start feeling like you're not connected to it anymore. And that's exactly what happened to me. It was like probably around 2021. I had went on a trip with one of the YouTubers. Some of y'all know I went on this women's retreat, and I was a co-host on the retreat. And when I came back from the retreat, that's when my awakening started. It was in 2021. And when I tell you, I lost all desire to read out of nowhere. It just hit me. Thank you for the love, y'all. It just hit me. I was just over it. And I would get on and try to keep reading and reading, you know, doing messages, but I just didn't feel it like I did before. Like I was excited to read all those years. And when I came back, it was just like, I didn't feel it. And I have moved because y'all know I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. So I moved from Kansas City, Missouri down here to Atlanta, Georgia. And when I came down here, I'm thinking like I'm going to meet up with my cousins. We're going to start kicking it. We're going to do meet and greets. I'm going to blow up more. And it's just going to be, you know, we're going to go up, you know. But that's not what happened. I came down here and literally started my healing journey. You said, Cousin Ken, I haven't seen you since YouTube. Glad you're doing well. Hey, cousin. See, I told y'all. I ain't lying. I'm telling y'all the truth. You said, how are you feeling now? I'm feeling much better now. I feel great now, but I got to be real with you. There were years where I did not feel good at all. I did. Thank you, cousin. I did not feel good for at least, I would say from 21, 22, 23. Remember I told you I took 3 years off. All 3 of those years, I was not feeling good. I went through an initiation like no other. I'll just say that. I'll say that. Because you got to remember, not only was I reading tarot, but I had altars too. And when you have those open portals around you in your home, It's not so easy to remove that energy. It's easy to call forth those energies. It's not so easy to remove them. But this is how I learned how to remove energies. So that's another topic. But I'm just telling you this because a lot of people need to know that this is the path that you choose as a woman, especially Black woman. When you decide to choose the spiritual path and you start reading and doing these different things and having these different things, people say it's demonic because they don't understand the path. They don't understand the growth that comes with it. Many of us are called to be healers. Many of us have a connection to these energies on the other side from birth. We didn't choose it. It chose us. Like I always say, if it's in your bloodline, if your grandma used to do some type of spiritual work, if your great grandma used to do some type of spiritual work, you don't know them, but they did it. The portals and the doors are already open. It's going to find somebody in the bloodline. And for those of us that are African American or Africans in Americans or Black or whatever you want to call yourself here in this America, many of us have connections to spirits on the other side based off of what our ancestors have done before us. Okay, so some people are going to say, okay, we have these connections to these spirits on the other side. Let's connect with them. Let's get an altar. Let's do these type of things, which is how we all start off because we just want to get closer to our roots or our ancestors or whatever. I did that. And I know what I'm talking about. And that's a start. But that's not where you finish. That's how you begin the journey. But keep going down the road. Keep going down the road. Because a lot of our ancestors also connected to these entities for support in a time of crisis. I'm just telling you what the truth is. So they connected to these entities or dark forces on the other side for support. And that is what helped them to get a lot of information, a lot of healing techniques, a lot of guidance and all these things to help them to make it through the things that they made it through. So that's why I say I will never, ever in my life say anything negative about tarot, ancestor veneration, nothing like that, because I understand that when you are at a low point, which is what I told you, most of us were at a low point when we started on the spiritual path. We were confused about church, religion, life, society, relationships. Okay, a lot of us were going through a tough time. So when we called upon those spirits, they came and helped us. So that's why I say it's not a bad thing. Now, like I said, when you get ready to grow and evolve, removing those energies is a totally different story. You said I grew up heavily in the church, hearing things are taboo, but in 2020, I was drawn to it. Yeah, many of us were. Many of us were, especially Black women. Black women, baby, all we knew was the church or whatever religion you was born into. We were dedicated to that. But in our generation, a lot of us in our 30s, 40s, we are deciding that no, that path is not the way. We know that it's not the way. We watched our mom struggle in poverty. We watched our mom struggle now, and our dads and our families are going through all these different things. It's like, that can't be it. And we know that's not it. So when we approach the spiritual path and we start getting the help we need and the support we need, it's like, you can't tell me that this ain't right, because what I'm hearing over here is not helping me. But what I'm hearing over here, what you telling me not to listen to, this is what's actually helping me. And so we just completely shut out all that traditional religious talk or whatever and went down the path. We did that. So we are blazing that trail, but it's levels. You said, and that's where people get stuck, because they're removing the energies. Yeah, that's where a lot of people get stuck, because, like I said, it seems like it's going to last forever. It seems like, you and your ancestors, y'all rolling together. You getting all the answers that you need. You going out to eat, bring home little leftovers, put it on your altar. You got your fruit up there and incense, put your little brown liquor up in there. Look, I did all of it. And y'all know I ain't going to lie to you. I'm not going to sit up here and act like I'm a saint or churchy type person, even though, yes, I am, I always say I have a Christian foundation, but I'm not a Christian. I was raised Christian. I was born into Christianity, but I'm not a Christian, because I don't act like them. I don't do nothing that they do, okay? I actually have discipline. Okay, bloop. Just saying. But I had to learn that on the spiritual path, and that's what the path has taught me. And like I said, when you get to that level of removing the energies and now you aligning with spirit so that you can get the power, because this is how it works. Before you get to your power, you got to go through an entity. I don't care what entity you call it. You can call it Christ, you can call it Muhammad, you can call it Buddha, or whoever it is that you pray to. It's always going to be a spirit at the gateway, period. Before you start to ascend spiritually, you have to go through those forces. So a lot of people do that, and that's where they get stuck. And on the spiritual path, it might be the ancestors or your guides, your spirit guides. In religion, it might be you just staying stuck in the church and reading whatever you read in the Bible and saying Jesus is everything, and then you don't move any further past that. It might be, if you are a Muslim, that, okay, whatever the teachings are, that's what I believe, and that's what I believe until the day I die, and I don't believe nothing else. So you close your mind to growth. And whenever we close our minds to growth, then we can't allow spirit, which is our source and creator, to guide us to the truth. Because only spirit, which is the spirit that is with us everywhere we go, can lead us to the truth. But we go through that initiation, or we go through that third party in order for us to learn. So whether you're learning from your ancestors or your guides or Jesus Christ or Muhammad or whatever, whoever you're learning from, Buddha, whatever, you're learning the teachings, okay? That's a level. I always say that you start off on an elementary level. Then you go up a level. Then you go up and you go up and you go up. And the goal is for us to merge and become one with the source. If you know anything about the hero's journey, then you know that when the hero starts off on his journey, he's met with a guide. That's where a lot of people get stuck. Right there. Right there. At the start of the journey. But it's like a clock. It's actually an entire journey. Just look it up. Put it in Google, type in the hero's journey. That is what tarot cards are about. It's telling the story of the hero. Okay, a lot of people don't know that either, but it's true. Hey, cousin, thank you. So, excuse me. You start off on your path. You're not sure. Like, they call it the fool's journey too. You don't know anything. And then you're met with a guide or an entity or force or whatever you call it on the other side. This guide is going to give you the foundation that you need, start guiding you, helping you in these type of things. But the more you go around the journey, then the guides disappear. They're not there anymore. There are certain points when they're there with you, and then there are times when they are not. So when you don't have the guidance anymore, then you are left on your own. Now you have to learn for yourself. Now you have to get the messages for yourself. Now you may have all of these interferences and all these things going on, and then you have to get yourself out of it. So when I was gone for those 3 years, I went through all of these different things. You know how the hero goes down into the abyss, go down into the darkness, and it literally feels like you are going to die. Seriously, I'm telling you the truth. And there's nobody there to support you. So you go from having all of this support and feeling like you having everything go your way and all these things, and then boom, flatline, nothing. It's over. Hey, cousin, you said greetings. You said you're making it all make sense. Yes, cousin, this is exactly what happens. So I know I'm talking to spiritual women. If you are a religious person, this can still apply to you, because if you're going to the church, the mosque, the synagogue, the temple, and being fed information, then that is a level. Because like I said, when we first start off in our spiritual path or whatever it is, we don't know anything. So we have to go to somebody else, whether they're in the spirit or the physical or whatever, to get the support. And then you have to grow from there. The Bible and the Quran and all these things, it helps you. It's a reference. Just think of a reference book. What a reference book does is it's going to align with what you know. You see what I'm saying? So as you grow, you're going to learn certain things, and then the things that you read should always be confirmation for what spirit is telling you. But a lot of times we're not connected to spirit. We're disconnected from spirit because of our lifestyle. So the way we live, the way we eat, the way we drink, the things we do, and all these things that they say, oh, you can do whatever you want to do. You only live once. God knows your heart. You're going to get there, and all that type of stuff. It's not acceptable in the spiritual path. It's not. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you, because I do not want you to drown. It's very easy to do. When you are in religion, you can live like that for your entire life. And we know many people that do, right? We know them. They have not changed one iota. There's that word. They have not changed one iota. And you're looking at them from a spiritual perspective like you need to get it together. You are in your 60s and you still been thinking the same way since you were in your 30s. What is wrong with you? Okay? Because you have a higher awareness. But the thing is, when you open yourself up, now you're a portal. You're saying, okay, I want to be used. I want to be the greatest version of myself. I'm ready. I want to help the people. I want to support people. I want to do this work. And remember, this is a new world. Thank you, cousin. This is a new world. So the leaders in the new earth have to practice what you preach. It's not just enough to get up there and start preaching. That's why I told y'all when I came back that y'all were going to see the spiritual leaders fall. Go back and look at the video. It's on both of my channels. I told you to pray for your spiritual leaders because they're going to start falling. And that's exactly what is going on, because behind closed doors, they're living one way, and in the public, they're living another way. And that's not going to fly, because the leaders in the new earth have been tried, tested. They have gone through their initiation. They have done all the things to qualify them to speak. And I made a video about this yesterday. Everybody is not qualified to speak. Just because you know the truth about something, it doesn't mean that you should be saying it. You can know certain things about ATR. It doesn't mean you're in a position to say it. Because if they come for you, then how are you going to remove those energies? You're going to be running to a godmother or some type of Baba or somebody to help you because you don't know how to get them off your tail. So keep your mouth closed. Okay? That's what I'm saying. Until you get to the level to speak. So I can talk the way I talk because I know I've been through what I've been through. And I just told you, there was a point when Spirit told me not to speak about certain things and I didn't. So all I was doing was coming on here and teaching. Although I know a lot, I don't speak about a lot because I was not at the level to speak. So we have to grow and become one with Spirit. When we merge with Spirit, which is our power source, we plug into the source, and now we have the power to do greater works than Christ did. Until we get to that point, it's best to just work on ourselves. That's why a lot of people are being guided to just isolate yourself, stop worrying about mama and cousin and brother and them, and just focus on yourself because you're being called to a higher level. Thank you, cousin. You're being called to a higher level. And just because you can get out there and do the work, start the channel, start talking and doing all these things, it doesn't mean you're ready. Because if you get the success or if you get all the things and you're not ready for it, you're going to dive down. Just saying. Thank you, cousin. And Spirit doesn't want that for us. Our Creator wants us to last long term. So that means we have to develop. Our Creator is going to do the work within us. Our job is to surrender, and that's the hardest thing for us to do, especially those of us that have been working on a job or working in our business, making our money, paying our bills and all these things. When Spirit takes all of that away from you, you may not have a job no more. You may not do well in your business no more. You may not have all the money, but everything will be taken care of. So now you're going through this initiation. So you're going to be able to say and to know for sure that our Creator is taking care of you. Not like how the world says, oh, I know that God, okay, alleged God is taking care of me, but they got to get out and go to work every day. No. When our Creator takes care of you, that means that you can rest. And you don't have to work hard. And it's hard to believe that. The human mind doesn't understand that because we believe, no, I need to get out and do something. Yes, you do, but not as much as we've been doing. So many of us have been working 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, 80 hours every 2 weeks for as long as we've been able to work. Okay. I started working when I was 16 years old. So I've been working I'm not working like that now, But I was working very hard, and it was no different when I was in my business. When I started my business, I worked more in my business than I did on a job. So when Spirit is calling you to dial back, stop working so hard, it's because you need to go through your pruning. You need to go through your development. But we fight it because we don't want to be alone, because now you hear all them voices in your head, and now this stuff starts coming up and all these things you have to work through. This is the path. Okay, look, getting pushed down the path. This is the path. You see, I was guided to quit my job May 2024 and haven't had a 9-to-5 since. Best decision I've ever made. Yep. We all are in this together. I have not worked since, I would say, 2021. When I stopped recording videos in 2021, I have not worked on a job or in a business or nothing for money. Nothing. If money comes to me, it's because it comes to me when I need it. And that's another thing that I had to learn, because I was always the type to feel like I need to see the money in my bank account. I need to be able to calculate. I need to be able to, pay my bills and this and that. I was always that type of person, but Spirit has guided me to see that regardless if you have $1 in your bank account, our Creator will take care of you and your bills. Do you believe that? That's hard. That's hard. That is hard to believe when all you know is I need to go to work or, do something in order for me to pay for my lifestyle. But it's levels. So this is what I was telling you about the rapture not being a physical thing. It's actually a spiritual thing. People are raising their vibration and their awareness. So you go from the 3D of working and doing everything yourself to the 4D where our Creator will provide for you different resources, or money will come to you, or, however things come to you and you haven't worked for it. It just comes to you. You're working on yourself. You're doing the development, you're surrendering, you are becoming a higher vibrational being, you are aligning with Spirit, and Spirit is providing for you. How it gets done every month, you don't know. It's just getting done. And then the 5D is where you may not even get the money. You may not even get the resources. You may not even get anything. You may have all these different things going around you, crazy stuff going on around you, but nothing touches you. You don't feel it. You cannot feel it. So you say, yep, it's the truth. You said, when is it necessary to work hard to build discipline and character? All the time. That's what we do. That is the work. That's what I say. Spiritual alignment is the assignment. Working hard to build discipline and character is an everyday thing. And remember, I told you all about that pie chart. So if you think about a pie chart, it's a circle. Half of our day should be spent on self-development, whatever that looks like, whether it's doing your workouts, reading, journaling, walking, whatever it is that you do that helps you to become a better person. Half of our day should be spent doing that. 25% of our day should be resting and going to sleep. So that's 75% of our day. Working on yourself, resting and going to sleep. Then you'll have a 25% where you're supposed to be working. So Spirit guided me to work 2 hours a day. And let me tell you, I get a lot done. Sometimes I have to work over if I'm, divinely guided to do something that is going to require me to do a lot more work, like a workbook or, something like that. Like, I've done a lot of different things and I have a lot of different resources, but this is how I've gotten it done. It's not just me just waking up one day and doing all these things at one time. No, it's taking years for me to do these things, but I take a little bit out of each day. Each day I wake up and do another part of it. Each day I wake up and write a page in the book. Each day I wake up, and do something else. But self-development is what we're here to do. We're not here to work. But that's the program, right? If you are told that you're here to develop, then you're going to be focusing on self-development. But if you're told that you're supposed to work, and if you don't work, you don't eat and all these other type of things, then you're going to be focusing on work. So most people are focusing on work and production, but not development. So if we know that we are souls, okay, your soul incarnated into this body and came here to have these experiences, right? We've all heard that. But I'm going to put the comma, okay? Comma. The reason why we have these experiences, both negative and positive, is for us to grow. That's why we have experiences. So we're growing, learning, growing constantly. This is what makes you an exceptional being. This is what raises the vibration of the planet. Just think about how different our world would be if most people had time to develop and to heal and to become a better person. This world would be totally different. But that's not what we have. We got a bunch of stressed out people that are overworked, not healed, still holding on to childhood trauma, going through relationship issues, betrayal, and all these other type of things. Don't have the money, don't have the things that they need because of the lack of development. Period. We don't have that connection to spirit. So when we do the work to work on ourselves, that is what aligns us with spirit. It's no different from your parents telling you that you need to live a certain type of way in order for you to be connected to them. It's the same way with our creator. But we've been told that, oh, you'll get there, just pray about it. You'll get there. And it's not acceptable when you're at a certain point. That's why I'm talking to spiritual people, because you have already said, I'm ready. I'm going to do the work. I'm ready. I know life is more than what it is right now. I'm ready. So slowly but surely, I say move slow but move for sure. You got to keep growing. It's not an option. I always say I can't tell you what to do. But if you want to keep moving forward and you want to align with your assignment, you got to keep growing, because this is how it works. The more you grow, the more of your assignment will be given to you. The more you'll know the details about your assignment. Like for me, for example, y'all know that I moved down here to open a Lighthouse Women's Wellness Center. When I moved down here, I thought it was going to be a store. That's what I thought, because I was reading tarot. That was the level I was at. So I was going to have crystal stones, sage, and all these things, and all this, cards I was making and all that. I was going to have all that in my store, and it was just going to be a store. But the more I have grown, let me tell you something. The vision that Spirit has given me for the Lighthouse is well beyond what I could even have thought. Never. And even now when I think about what Spirit wants me to do, I cry. I cry because I'm like, how? How can I do that? I don't know how I'm going to do that, But Spirit is telling me to work on myself and work on the vision. Keep building every day. So that's what I do. And when the time comes, then the support will come. And that's what I believe. And that's what I do. But if I never grew, if I never did the things that I needed to do, then I would not get the assignment. And this is the reason why most people are here in this world, but they don't know why they're here. They don't know. But that's why you got your favorite cousin Ken, because I'm going to tell you the truth. You're here to grow and evolve, but you also have a function. Before you leave this planet, there's something that you are supposed to do and leave here before you go. And it's not small. For those of you that are listening to me, it's not small. I'm telling you this. Your life is going to make a difference in thousands, if not millions of people's lives if you can get into spiritual alignment. That's why we have spiritual alignment class. Because I'm here to help you. We got spiritual alignment class. If you want to discover your life purpose, I have a program for that. If you need clarity about what's going on in your life, I have guides for that. Literally everything you need. If you want to eat better, if you want to live better, I have the grocery list. I have the recipe books. I have been working nonstop. Everything that you need, you have it. You have the support. But for so long, we knew that we needed to do something. We just didn't know what to do. And that's how you start off on the path. And even while you're going down the path, you can feel like that. Like, I need to do something. I just don't know what it is. Because Spirit has not revealed it to you. Spirit has to tell you these things. But Spirit is not going to tell you more than you can handle. And if you can't handle it, you're not going to get it. You're not going to get it. You say, yeah, going through this right now. Lost my job. Been going from house to house. Waiting on shelter business. I know, cousin. It's tough, man. It's tough. The path is tough, man. I can't tell you how much I've had to give up. So much. So much. But what helps me is just staying in the present and knowing that all of my needs are met. Even though I might not be comfortable, I'm okay. You know, I'm okay. You eat every day, you got everything that you need. You know, even if, like I said, you want it to be different, you want to have so much more, you want to have this or that, you know, but you have everything that you need. And that's something that Spirit teaches us. And it's okay for us to depend on each other. Because if we're the type of people that feel like, oh, I got to do everything on my own, then sometimes we'll be put in a situation to where we'll have to depend on somebody else. That's just real, you know? Because the world that we're living in and this new earth that we're creating is going to make me emotional. But the new earth, we're not on our own. In the old world system, that's how we did everything. You need to go to work, take care of yourself. You can have neighbors all around you that can help you, but you don't even know because you may not never speak to them. You don't even know their name. You don't even know who they are. But in this new earth, we don't live like that. If I got something I can give you to help you, I'm going to give it to you. If there's something that you can do for me, then I receive that. But we've been conditioned to separate from each other. It's been looked down on if we have to go to somebody else and say, hey, I need some help. Then people looking down on you, whispering, talking about, oh, they ain't got this, oh, they ain't got that. You know, that's not how it works in the new earth. It's not. We're never supposed to depend on ourselves. Never. You can't do it by yourself. And many families are coming together. Many people are coming together. Believe it or not. People are moving back in with their parents, their grandparents. But grandma needs you there. And a lot of times, we ain't trying to live with grandma. For real. We're like, no, I want to get my own place. I want to have my own things. I don't want to live with grandma. Well, if you put in a position to where now you got to live with grandma, now grandma get the support she needs. I'm just telling you how Spirit works. So when we get everything that we want, we call that a blessing. That's what the world calls a blessing. But the only blessing is Spirit. Remember, I'm telling you this. The only blessing is our Creator, the Spirit, the voice of Spirit. That's it. Not the things, not the material, not the relationship. That is a warped mentality to think that if you're getting everything you want, you're blessed. Because there is a force in this world that can give you everything that you want, and you will be the most unhealthy, unhappy person ever. And there are a lot of people who get what they want, and now they're distracted from growth. They don't need to grow. Why do you need to grow? When you can go out and eat what you want. You got all the money and all the things and all the resources. You can buy a person if you want to. Why do you need to grow? Right? Thank you, cousin. So I know this about our Creator to be true. That even if you think about like in the religious text, a lot of times people who are used to do great things are often isolated and they're not given everything right away. And there's a reason for it. Because the development needs to take place. And if you have nothing else but time, then you have nothing but time to develop. So we work on our mindset. We work on our belief. A lot of things are going to start coming up that we feel like we healed from, but we're not. So we have time to work on it. Remember, the greatest asset is time. Most people who have a lot of money, they don't have a lot of time. But if Spirit grants you all the time, you are wealthy. Because in that time, you're not only working on yourself, but Spirit is also giving you a plan. So do you get distracted by the present moment, what you don't have, and now you're not working on the plan? Do you give up the plan and you say, oh, this ain't gonna never work? Because we know that there are many stories where, Spirit has called a person, set them apart to work on something all by themselves. And it's like, did they stop working on the thing because they didn't see it come into reality? Do we just stop? No. We believe. You believe what you're hearing. You believe it. And our faith is tested like none other. That's a fact. That's the initiation I'm telling you about. Okay? You said using things to suppress themselves. Yeah, they do. They do. You said they're just cycling in trauma. That's real. That's real. Because they feel like, okay, I have all the money, I have all the things, I can have whatever I want, but the soul is not getting what it needs. And remember, we're not the body. Your soul is the light force that keeps the body alive. When the soul is taken out of the body, you have no more life. So if everything you do is to appease your body, the soul is not going to be happy. Because the soul is always going to guide us to draw back. Draw back. Stop eating that. Start drinking water. Eat your vegetables. Eat your fruit. You always hear this guidance from your soul when you listen. I ain't going to say always. Because when we don't listen, we don't hear it, and then we feel lost. But when we listen to it, then that voice becomes louder and louder and louder and louder. So you know when to cut a person off. You know everything. All of this guidance, because remember, the soul is the GPS. The soul has lived before us. The soul will live after us because it's the energy within us. It's the energy that keeps us alive. So we never die. We've always been. We just take different form because remember, energy cannot be destroyed. It just changes form. So in past lives, you were a different form. In future lives, you'll be a different form. It's just what it is. But we're coming to an end of this cycling through this reality here on earth. And we know that the big show is about to happen. If you don't know, I'm telling you, it's about to happen. Because you got to remember that humans have had millions and millions and millions of years to grow and get it right. Our Creator is so patient with us to the point to where it makes me emotional. Because I think about how patient of a being, a force we have that is with us, that will watch us continue to do the things that we do with no conscious or no awareness. And then Spirit gets on me in my heart because I have to understand that people just don't know. So our Creator knows that we just don't know. And we never will know if we don't make the changes. That's how Spirit works. It's like, why do I need to tell you more if the things that I've already told you, you're not doing those things? Spirit ain't telling you nothing. Now, you can get a job, you can get a business, you can make the money, you can do everything you want to do down here. But as far as your growth and your purpose work, you're not getting there unless you grow as a person. Because if you get all of the things or get the great massive assignment, but you haven't grown as a person, you're going to mess it all up. That's not going to happen again. It's not going to happen again. So the chosen people or the elect are here to create this change. We are here to create this change. But before we ever get to help a person, we have to help ourselves. It's a prerequisite. You go to college, you got to take your prereqs first before you get to the course. Yeah, that's what it is. So when you're being guided to go be by yourself, stop speaking to certain people. You may feel like, oh, I want to keep talking to my friends or my mom and all these people. Nope. Spirit gonna tell you, nope, cut them off. Cut them off, and not in a way where you're being mean or nothing like that. You just have to let them go because a lot of people are dedicated to living the way that they live, and that's just where they are. You got to let them go do it. Just let them go. Let them go because they're going to pull you down. You're trying to pull yourself up. Remember, we all start off in the dark. We don't know. So you're trying to pull yourself up, but you got all these people on your boat. So what do you think is going to happen to that boat? Y'all all going to go down. But if you really want to help the people that you love, you help yourself. And when you help yourself, that is going to help them. And not only help them, but it's going to help thousands of other people too. So that's why we're being guided to work on ourselves. And it's very, very, very Did I say very? Very important. Very important. Cousin said, Ashe, all is well. All is well. We're going to get there. And not like the church say get there. We're going to do the work. That's why you got your cousin Ken. We're going to do the work, because I already told y'all. I'm not interested in connecting with people who are not ready to grow. I'm just telling you the truth. I understand that we're all at different levels, but I have work to do. And my work requires me to connect to people that are ready to grow. And it's no hard feelings for anybody on their path, not my family, not my children, friends, any of you. It's no offense. But the things that I know that I'm called to do, like I just told you, it's not small. So I have to have people that are ready to go. Okay? Well, they say TTG. We got to go. We can't be making excuses. We cannot be sitting in our tears. We can't be saying, oh, I'm going to get there. We're not getting nowhere with that. We're going to pray about it. No, we don't need to keep praying about it when we have the answers. You see what I'm saying? When you are connected to the source, you have the answers. But we were raised, a lot of us were religious, where we were told that we don't need the answers. We don't need the answers. Don't ask God questions. Don't ask questions. You don't need to know. We absolutely need to know. And I'm telling you, when you're connected with the source, there is nothing you won't know about yourself, about your family, about your journey, about your past life, future lives. Anything you need to know, you're going to know. Because how can you make it through this life and you don't know nothing? You can't. All we keep doing is going around and around and around in a circle, or going to somebody else and asking them for guidance. Help me, help me, help me. And this is another reason why when I used to do, spiritual guidance, I did not like the fact that everybody looked to me for guidance, but in their own life, they couldn't get the guidance for themselves. I didn't like that. There are some people that will capitalize on that. Oh, y'all need me to help y'all? Okay, well, I'm going to keep on raising the price on my readings. And I did raise the price on my readings to stop people from coming. But believe it or not, people will still pay. So I had to just stop doing readings altogether, personal readings, because it became too much. It became too much. And then what I found is that I could give a person all the guidance they need. I could tell you every single thing you need to know about whatever you ask me. And you still go out there and do the same thing. I said, oh, no. It ain't gonna work. He said, we love you, cuz. I love you too, cousin. I love you, but I love y'all so much that I want y'all to get up. I want to see y'all succeed. Y'all see me lose all this weight and transform. I want to see y'all do that. I want to see it, and I want y'all to send me emails and send me messages. After y'all take the classes and the programs and y'all apply the things that I'm teaching you to your life, please, that's all I want. Just send me the result. Let me see the result, please, because I'm not going to, listen, I ain't going to tell you what you got to do, but there's many ways that you can leave me a response or a testimonial or something. I need to see you growing. I need to. It makes me so emotional. I just need to. Because I know how much suffering is out there. I know how hard it is. I've been on both paths, the dark end and light. I've been on all sides of it. But I need to see people coming through it. I don't want y'all stuck in it. I don't want you stuck in relationships, jobs, businesses, family, religion. Don't stay stuck nowhere in this life, because you came here to flourish and to grow. Just do your thing, cousin. Do it. Whatever you know you need to do, just do it. Even if you got to close your eyes and just do it. Just do it afraid, whatever it is, You said, I'm up, cousin. I hear you. Today is so high vibrational. Yes, cousin. Cousin is in spiritual alignment class. I love y'all so much. I do. And I know how tough the path is. It's not easy. It's not. But it's better together. I'm telling you that. It's better when you have support. And that's another reason why we have the Lighthouse, because in our private community, cousin, you could text or type in there anytime. And I'm going to be right there. I'm not leaving y'all in the group by yourself. I need to know what's going on with you. I'm stalking y'all, really. I'm like, what's going on? Who said what about my cousin? So if y'all need personal support, join us in spiritual alignment class. That's the only way you get access to the private group text. But if you the type to say, you know what, I can do it by myself, I just need some support, then join the Discover Your Life Purpose program. That's a 6-week program just for you, okay? And all you need to take is 30 minutes a week. I want things to be so easy for you so you can just apply it just a little bit at a time. You don't have to go and just rearrange your whole entire life in one day. Just a little bit at a time, because I know that's how Spirit guided me. I didn't change to this person in one day. It took years for me to become this person, and I'm still growing, but I never push myself. Because I know the type of person I am. If I push myself to do something, I'll do it for so long and then I'm done. I don't want to do it. I don't feel like doing it, and I'm not going to do it. Take that. That's just how I am. I can't be pushed. I can't. Maybe it's the goat in me. I don't know. But if I'm free, then I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll get to it. So, that's why everything that I have for you all is just like, okay, this is just going to take you 30 minutes a week. So you can find 30 minutes in your week to work on your purpose. Especially if you want to be free, okay? You don't want to be working on a job. You don't want to be stressed out. You don't want to be, living in this life where you're taking care of yourself. Okay, you're going to have to make this shift, however you make it. You have support, or you can do it on your own, but you're going to have to make that shift, because if you don't, you're always going to be working to take care of yourself, and it's going to stress you out. No matter if you're making money from your job, or like me when I was on YouTube making thousands of dollars every month, it doesn't matter. You're still going to have to get up and do something in order for things to happen. But the shift in this new earth is that's no longer. Because just think about it. When we don't have phones, we don't have the grocery store, we don't have money, we don't have all these things. We know that these times are coming, right? We don't have all of these things, but we have connection to our Creator. When you have connection to the Creator, then guess what? You don't need any of these things. You don't. And Spirit is going to teach you that. And it's better for you to start learning that now than for you to have to go through a crisis or whatever is going on in the world right now. Like we know, it was just a blackout with Verizon and AT&T and all these towers going down on that. It's better for us to start getting to alignment now than for us to wait and be going through all of these different things. And now we're trying to figure out what to do, because most people are going to be scrambling. They're not going to know what to do. But when you're in alignment spiritually, you are calm. You're not out there trying to figure out what to do. You're like, oh, okay, that's going on. Some of y'all might start feeling like that already. It's like the things that you feel like you should care about, you just don't care. That's spirit. That's spirit. Because spirits are not emotional. They're not emotional. So when you are merging with spirit, you're not so emotional. When you are in your physical body, so grounded in the 3D, you are emotional about everything. And it's the reason why a lot of people who are conscious or whatever, they look like they 100 years old, because they stressed, okay? Because they're not growing. They're so stuck in whatever is happening. It's really getting to them. They say, how can you not let this get to you? You're supposed to care. I do care. Don't it look like I care? I show up every day. I have a lot of things for people, to help people. I care. But I also know that there is a force that's in control. See? I know it's not me. And I know that whatever is going on in this world, it's not going to overthrow what has already been done. What's done is already done. We're just living it out. I'm doing my part, and that's the only thing I focus on. I don't focus on nobody else's part, what they doing, what they don't do, what they doing in the government, I don't care what they do. I'm just doing my part. And that's what I tell you all too. Just focus on your part. That's all you can do. And everything else is going to fall down around us. And it needs to. Good. Because now what we're building is going to last. You say, yep, it's the truth. You say, you're so spot on. It's the truth. Let it fall. Let I'm trying to hold on to this world for? This government. They're doing exactly what they're supposed to do. So when you understand the spiritual realm and you actually have had communication or interaction with spirits, you know how to deal with the dark forces and you know how to deal with the light forces. And you understand that there are dark forces and light forces, but the paths never cross. Okay? Just like when this light is on, darkness cannot exist in here. It's the same way in the spiritual and in the physical realm. And that's what we have to understand. This will keep you calm at these times. They're supposed to do what they're doing. There are negative forces, dark forces in the physical and in the spiritual. They are supposed to be destructive. Remember that God is the generator, the operator, and the destructive force, the destroyer. We have to understand that there is a side of our Creator that will allow destruction. I don't think that people understand that because they believe God is good, God is great, let's take a fall food, amen. No. There are times when destruction is necessary. For example, if you have a pest problem in your home, say you have rodents running around your house, you're going to hope and pray somebody can come in there and kill all their bad butts and get them up out of there. Okay? You're going to say, come over here, get them. Yes, today. How much? Don't matter. Come get them. Yes, there's a time when you need destruction. There's a time. Even within our own selves, there is a time when things within us, mindsets, behaviors, beliefs, it needs to be destroyed. Okay? The way we're thinking, the things we're doing, it needs to go away, be done with. When you grow, there's a time for that. And then there's a time for things to be built. So those of us that are called to be the light workers, we are building. And those that are called to destroy, let them destroy. Because it needs to be destroyed. It's just time. Okay? And when their job is done, then they go. They go. They're done. They have nothing left to do. And then all that will be left is love, which is what was the original design for Earth. That was the original design, and that's the way that it will be. There will always be love. There will always be love. Love will always be the highest frequency. People who hate love hate what I'm saying, but I don't care. It's always going to be love, period. That's it. And that's all. And we just do our part, okay? All right, cousins. So I'm going to be doing more spiritual guidance. I'm going to be going a little bit deeper because y'all know I always say I don't want to go too deep. But I just believe that those of you that are guided on my path, you're ready to hear what I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying, you know. I guess there's a part of me that's just like thinking that, you know, people don't really like understand me in certain ways, and that's just a part of my healing because on my path I have always been the person that's like by myself with my thoughts, you know, or how I feel. I feel like people don't completely understand me, and I accepted that a long time ago. I just accepted that I think different, I am different, and the people in my life don't understand me, and that's fine. So that doesn't stop me from doing what I do, but I just feel like there are certain things that I just need to just keep to myself, or just, you know, not, you know, really go deep into it. But I'm feeling like I need to speak more and guide more. So I'm going to be doing that, okay? Along with teaching, I will still be teaching and I will be here. Normally I come here every week, but if not, y'all know that, you know, when Spirit guides me, I go where I need to go. But if you're watching this on TikTok, make sure you go over to YouTube at Lighthouse Women of Virtue. There are all the replays. That's why I put all the replays. And then if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you come over to TikTok at I Am Marie Moses and catch me on live. Okay? Thank you. Thank you, cousin. Thank y'all so much. I'm going to end the live here. Y'all know I've been trying to stay at an hour because I have to post this over on YouTube. And if it gets to 2 hours, it's too long. But y'all know I can yap, okay? On and on. On and on. I love y'all so much. And if you need support, then you have it. If you need support about anything in your life, listen. If you need guidance about anything going on in your life, There is a guide. Click my picture. Download that guide. That was the first guide I did when I came back. It's so easy to read. I think it might even be 10 pages. But literally, anything that you're going through in your life, whether it be personal development, career and finances, relationships, it's free. You don't even have to pay for it. Just download it and read it. That's it. That's all you have to do, all right? You have my support. No matter what level or where you are on your path, you do have support. And I regret that. Well, I can't say I regret, but I wish that when my channel was a lot bigger, I wish I had more for people. I wish I had more for people at that time, but now I do. But I had to grow first, Okay, cuz he said, cousin, I love you too. I love y'all too. I love you, love you, love you. Please show me your transformation. Because listen, if y'all don't show me that y'all transforming, I feel like I'm just getting up here for nothing. And one thing about me, I do what works. If it don't work, then I'm not gonna do it. And I love being on live, but if it don't work, I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna do something else. Cause that's just how I am. So if you all are healing, growing, changing, transforming, whatever it is that you're going through, even if it's just a little small change, especially those of you in spiritual alignment class, share your progress, share what you're doing. If you're eating better this week, if you're doing your workout, whatever it is that you're doing that you say, you know what, I'm going to commit myself to this, show it. Help your cousin. That's all I need. Just a little bit. That's a little bit. All right, y'all. Say it again. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.